Okay, so I just wanted to take a second to outline what to expect once you've cut out all of your pieces for the letter files, the letter bank files rather. So as you see here, this is for the letter J, and there are a total of 6 letter pieces and 3 base pieces that are all cut out together. So this one here, it's got the paper on it, but that's my acrylic, so that's just one solid letter shape. This is, this, and this are the ones that are cut out in the 1/4 inch thick material. And you'll notice something here. The bottoms of all 3 of these have this piece here. These you will not need, so these ones you can toss to the side, as well as the top piece here. You can also toss to the side, you don't need those. And then the way that I cut them, or designed them, you can actually take these letter inserts and use these for different projects. So if you just wanted them for like wall ornaments, or you could sell those individually as letters too, that's an option. So you take those bits out, and that gives you the inner spacers for your bank. Okay, so there's the 3 inner spacers. This one is going to go on the bottom of those 3, then the middle, then the 3rd one. So those are kind of sandwiching together, and the reason is because that leaves the coin slot in the middle up top. Okay, so those are there. This and this are your 2 pieces that are on the 1/8 inch wood. So once again, this one, you don't need the middle J, so you actually have a total of 4 just plain letters that you can use for something else. So this is the front frame. This is going to go right here on top. And then this is the back. So this is going to be the back of all of the letters there. And actually, I forgot one thing. The acrylic piece goes here. So obviously you can't see through it right now because the paper is still on it. But that is how you layer them all together. So it is front frame piece with the little pegs at the bottom, then the acrylic, then the 3 sandwich layers of the 1/4 inch thick, and then that back base piece. So those are all the pieces together. And once you've got them all sandwiched together, they get glued together, and you can see the coin slot on the top. And at the bottom is the open gap to get the money out. Now, what I recommend is you glue together all of these layers first, and then if you're going to paint the inside, I would do that once those are all glued together. So you glue those together first. Then once you've got those glued together, make sure it's all cleaned out, no dust, anything like that. And once it's all cleaned out, then you can do your layer of glue around this, and then attach your acrylic piece, and then attach the front frame piece. Also, obviously, if you're adding paint, I recommend painting this frame piece first before you glue it onto the acrylic. So that's the actual letter part. Here's the base. I get lots of questions on the base. So for the base, you have one solid rectangle piece. That's the bottom. Then you have this piece here. This center, you do not need. So once you take that apart, you don't need this piece. Okay? But these pieces go together. So this goes on top of the base frame. This piece gets glued, just this frame. So glue that part. Once that glue's dry, then you can have this be back in here. Okay? So this part is the part that slides in and out. Okay? So just gluing around the outside edge. This piece goes over that and also gets glued. This one has a little bit of a lip that prevents this bottom piece from lifting up. So this encapsulates the middle layer that slides in and out. So if you have this slid out, it'll look like this, and you'll have 2 layers. So these are glued together, and then there's a little space underneath there. Okay, so those are glued. You put this piece back in. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed, and of course nothing's glued yet. This piece goes right here. So you glue this onto the part that slides out. So that goes right there. And it's optional, really. You don't have to have that. But I like it because when it's all closed together, it kind of completes that top frame. So it's optional. And then this piece, again, is one that you didn't need. So that's the one that fit in the top here. You don't need that. Okay, so that is what the base looks like completed, what the letter looks like completed. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks again for buying my file. The last thing that I wanted to note about these two is wood thicknesses vary depending on where you get it from. Different sources have different standards for what they agree is 1/4 inch wood or 1/8 inch wood. It's not always an exact measurement. My particular wood that I get the birch plywood from Home Depot, and it tends to measure at about 0.18 inches. So it's definitely shy of an actual 1/4 inch, but that is the standard for that particular brand that I get. I know that other people's measure a little bit bigger. So when it comes to assembling the whole letter to the base, one thing that some people have run into is when they go to insert this part onto the base, you might notice that there is more or less wiggle room. Now, I did make this file a little bit loose for my wood because I knew that there would be some variation. So when I get this in here, you'll notice that it's not completely up against the edge. And that's okay, because the way that you're going to attach this, what I recommend is using a wood glue that you can also use as kind of a filler. So if your issue is that the spaces on either side of this are too loose, fill it with wood glue. If the issue that you're having is that you try to stick this in here and it's too wide for the base, send me a message. If you are able to tell me what the measurements of your actual pieces are, I am happy to correct your files so that your base fits your wood. Because again, I know that they vary, and I am happy to make those adjustments for you as needed. So please, 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 if you have issues, reach out, let me know what your measurements are, and I'm happy to send you an edited base file for you to recut. Also, just if you haven't even cut yet and you know for a fact that your wood is thicker than that 0.18, if yours is more like 0.2 or bigger, reach out now. I'm happy to send you that file ahead of time. Just again, if you have calipers and you can send me those measurements, I got you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks again for buying my file.